That was amazing. I love listening to Natalie speak, and we're going to hear from her again just a little bit. But it's about the power of people. And that is truly the key. I'm sure you do too. I love Alicia White's story, and I'm so glad that Natalie shared that with us. This week, I think that we should all channel our inner Alicia. We should all seek to intentionally act to be that multiplier in our own communities. And you just heard Natalie challenge us to imagine a world where it is possible for people to not stand on the sidelines. That is our challenge for the week. Make it impossible for them to stand on those sidelines. How can we eliminate the barriers of entry for people to get involved, lead, and then lend support to the causes that they care about? In Civic Park, we have quite a beautiful experience waiting for you. One that is, it's beautiful. It artistically aids in answering that question. And John Noltner is an American and peace activist. His photographs have been published in national magazines, and his work has really taken him all over the world. We're very lucky to have him here with us today and this week with his special multimedia project. And it's a beautiful art project that you guys have to check out. It's called A Piece of My Mind. And I want to know, exactly a little bit more. So to tell us about what to expect as you all immerse yourself and seek to answer this question, please welcome John Noltner.
Thank you.
So first of all, we all know in our own minds what a piece of our own mind is, but in this beautiful art installation, explain what it is.
So A Piece of My Mind is a public arts project that uses photography and storytelling to connect us. It's a project I started 10 years ago when I was frustrated with the quality of our national dialogue. And I wondered if I could use my photography and storytelling, instead of looking at what divides us, to look at what connects us.
That's beautiful. And I think, too, being able to find your way through art can be just a liberating experience, and you are all really in for a treat. So how exactly will all of these wonderful people here engage in this project at the conference this week?
So there are a couple of things that you can do. The first is that I've got an exhibit that's with us on the second floor on the street entry right at the bottom of the escalators, and it's called American Stories. And for that project, I drove 40,000 miles across the country asking people, what does peace mean to you? It's an effort in a polarized world to look at the common humanity that we all share. So I would invite people to come and read some of those stories about transformation and hope and creating positive change in the world. But more than that, I would invite people to be bold and to visit our studio, which is also nestled into the exhibit, and share your own story. We're asking people to share a story in 25 words or less, to sit for a black and white portrait, and we will combine those words and their photographs. And by the end of the conference, we'll have this wonderful body of work that talks about mission and vision and values and how we can create positive change.
That is the most beautiful thing I think I've ever heard. I love that. What does that finished project then look like?
So we've got a few examples that I want to show you from a recent engagement we did at Cornell University with students. I was there for a fellowship, and we asked people simply, what kind of world do you want to live in? And I'll share with you a few of the responses. Somebody shared, I would, and I can't quite read it from here.
Here would say, I want to live in a world that, I'm really testing my eyes, that allows people to paint their self-portrait without
dictating
Thank you.
the brush strokes.
Like,
you all can read. You all can read. I'm going to let you read the next couple.
Let's do it as a group. All right, and this next one says, I want to live in a world, and help me if I'm missing a word, in a world where human dignity is
inviolable.
Thank you. You can read it, and I can't read this either. Thank you. This was probably, maybe this was not the most ideal way to have done this. Sorry, guys. Thank you for bearing with us here. This is beautiful. I can actually just go closer to the screen. Hey, look at that. It's amazing. I can actually get up and move. I want to live in a world where freedom isn't something that needs to be earned. God, is that powerful? Wonderful.
Yeah, and so the question that we're going to ask you here today, and I'm going to read it for you, is how can we eliminate barriers of entry for people to get involved, to lead and lend support to the causes that they care about. Essentially, how do we find a way to include all people in this process of transformation and change in our country? And so the process is really simple. You come and visit us at the studio. You share your response in 25 words or less. You don't have to use all 25 words. We will shoot the
Then
best.
don't ask me, because mine will be like 75.
I know, and
Samantha, could you stop talking
And
already?
I can help you trim that down if you
Thank you.
need to. But we will take the best and freest black and white portrait of you that you have ever seen. We will combine those, and again, together, by the end of this conference, we'll have this beautiful body of work that talks about where we can go as people together.
Well, that is amazing. I hope each and every one of you do have a moment to check that out. But before we let you go, any words of encouragement to the people who might be thinking of participating, any sort of things to get them started?
Yeah, I just want to encourage you to be brave. This is not scary. This is a brief process to come and be a part of this public art project. It's a growing public art project, and the operative word is public. You know, this process works really, really well, but it depends on you to show up and to share your ideas. There's a brain trust of ideas in this room, in these buildings, and I want to gather some of that. I want to reflect it back to you. It's a way to articulate mission, vision, and values. It's a way to see ourselves and our peers in new ways. So I invite you to stop by and share your story.
So 25 words or less, and you get to mug for the camera, give your best blue steel. Does anyone have that reference? Zoolander? Anyone?
I'm with you.
Thank
I got
you.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, excellent. Well, thank you again, John, so much for being here this week with all of us, sharing your beautiful artwork and your expression. Actually, before I move on to prompter, I do want to ask you, with all of 40,000 miles across the country, what was one of the most impactful stories that you heard in 25 words or less?
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's not going to be an individual story.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you the most powerful stories are those where people find themselves in difficult situations and they have chosen to create positive change. They've chosen to take a liability and turn it into an asset. And I think each of us has that choice in our lives.
The lemon into lemonade.
Amen.
Absolutely. All right, well, thank you so much. And so, again, make sure you stop by and see John answer this question. How can we eliminate barriers of entry for people to get involved, lead, and lend support to the causes they care about? So you just head over to Civic Park through Wednesday to intentionally pledge your commitment. A big round of applause for John.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I am